Hi, I'm Tim Seelig. I'm the former artistic director of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus and the Turtle Creek Chorale.
I'm Jake Stensberg, and I am the current artistic director of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus.
When people ask me what one of the most striking moments of my life is, it's when I walked into a room of PLUs, people like us, and for the first time sang with a group just like me. And that was 50 people in a room, which was a lot. And the first time I walked into a gala festival environment, there were thousands of people like me. It is life-changing. There's no question about it. But I think the strength of it is in being surrounded by people who love the same thing that you love and the people that you love.
I really love that, Tim. These days, still more than ever, I feel like our queer siblings gathering together, taking up queer space and singing together is still to this day an act of resistance, even with how far we've come over the last decades. And this year, during our holiday concert preparation, I've been talking to the chorus about how our queer joy is our superpower, it is our resistance, it is our reply to oppression and violence. It is our reply to celebration and gathering. So this element of queer joy and queer gathering as existing as an act of resistance, and sharing with each other and with our audiences and our communities our queer joy, is our calling, is our act, is our obligation and our duty.
Okay, so Jake, you officially came into the Gala Network as an artistic director in August of 2022. That's very recent. At that point, when's the first time you heard that there was such thing as a festival?
Well, I discovered the festival really as I was doing a lot of research for a job I was interviewing for. It was this job, spoiler alert.
That would be my job.
That would be your job, yes.
Yeah.
It was your job. So I thought, I was like, this Tim guy seems pretty important. I should probably see what kind of stuff is. No, I'm kidding. I, of course, knew who you were. But Gala Festival, I think I had heard of and knew about, but I didn't really know what was going on. And what has made me the most excited as singers are starting to talk and the buzz is starting to happen, singers are talking about people they call their friends and their family that they haven't seen in 8 years, but they look forward to that day when, as soon as they can get to Minneapolis and see these friends and family that they cultivated and fostered at gala festivals over the years. Some of our members have attended 0, some have attended all of them, and they talk about this convergence of choruses as like a family reunion that people want to go to. And so, Tim, I'm wondering if you can tell me a little bit about, other than concerts. I know that there are a ton of concerts and that we get to watch and support and cheer each other on stage. But what is going on at these festivals that is creating family relationships that help people check in once every 4 years?
It's pretty amazing in that, well, there are concerts and concerts and then some more concerts. And about day number 3, you think, okay, I can't go to another one. And then you realize that there are only 2 more days and that won't happen for another 4 years. And, hopefully not another 8, but another 4 years. But it's the fascinating thing is that you meet people, whether you're on a bus or on whatever the light rail that Denver had, or in a restaurant. And because you already have something in common, you just start talking to people on the street, which you don't ordinarily do. People just talk out on the street in San Francisco, but that's a whole nother topic. We wear shirts, we wear t-shirts, lots of t-shirts with our names on them, and lots of gay rainbows and all kinds of things. And so automatically, okay, look, that person's from Boston, or that person, oh, I know someone from your chorus, or if you're brand new, I know someone from Boston. Hey, I know this gay person from New York City. Do you know them? Thinking, of course, they should know all the people. The interesting thing is there are interest sessions, there are rehearsals, that workshops, and all kinds of things if you just don't have enough music in your life, and the coffee concerts that are amazing. But there's every single meal and every cocktail and every cup of coffee where you're meeting people. And you will find that in very short order, you will have family and friends, and be trading phone numbers and emails, and keep up with those people through the years. And people will come to visit after gala, come to visit. And we have also couples that have gotten together at gala and ultimately married and moved to various cities. It's happened in our chorus on several occasions. Several couples have gotten together. And so, yeah, there's always that, you can look for a spouse.
I don't know that I will personally be looking for a spouse, but I love that everyone has that opportunity when they go there. That makes me very
no, I wasn't saying you specifically, Jake, should be looking for a spouse at Gala Festival. I think that's a terrible idea. But yeah, I think that we can set that one aside. There is morning to night. I mean, from the crack of dawn until night. And your own chorus will be very busy with tech rehearsals, and maybe be in one of the mass concert groupings, or it's just two or three concerts going on at the same time. So you're just traveling in between venues, and getting to know a lot of people. It's okay for introverts. There will be quiet spaces, not many of them, but there will be time to be quiet should you need that. Best thing to do is just gird your loins, as we say, when you get there, and say, I'm going to live it and breathe it and eat it and drink it for 5 days. And then I'll rest when I get home.
Tim, I wonder if you can tell me a little bit about what it means to you personally over your 35-year arc that has not yet hit its end point. It's this 35-year trajectory. What has the festival done for you? What does it mean to you? How has it nudged the arc? How has it adjusted your path?
Thank you for asking that really great question. When I first started in this, I didn't start in this movement. I started with the Turtle Creek Chorale in Dallas in 1987, and it was not a member of Gala. And I know it was shocking, but then Gala hadn't been around that long. But someone asked me when I first got there, we're not members of this gay and lesbian thing. And I said, well, why not? And they said, well, there's some people that are uncomfortable with it. And this person said, but if you'd like us to be members, I'll pay the membership fee. And I was like, well, of course we should do that. The board found out about it later, but we immediately began planning to go to the first festival in Seattle. Why wouldn't we? And as I said, hyperbole aside, it's life-changing. You sit there and you cannot believe the inspiration from one after another chorus that came on. And I was thrilled. I was thrilled with the authentic nature of each of the choruses. And it's something I also want to talk about when we talk about programming, is what you should program. But at that conference, what changed about my life particularly is the San Diego Gay Men's Chorus came on. They sang and they said, we've just started the San Diego Women's Chorus, and they're going to join us on stage. It's the first time it had ever happened. And the crowd went nuts and cried, and women joined the men. And it was like, what in the world just happened? It was really something special. And so I came home, and, this is history in the making. A month later, I started the Women's Chorus of Dallas after Gala, because I said, this must happen in Dallas. And so that was a very tangible result of a Gala festival for me. Every single gala festival has provided us something new, an impetus, a new motivation, some new repertoire, something that we hadn't thought about on our own. When we get home and we're siloed, even in this day and age, when we can see people on YouTube and in live streaming, we get to see it, but it's not like feeling it and watching how just the smallest things. So through the years, Jake, we have gone and had initiatives that have mirrored what we're going through in our lives. And considering the fact that we are now 8 years between, I cannot wait to see what the themes are that we're singing about and the music that we're bringing after an 8-year hiatus, because the world has changed dramatically in these 8 years between these two, more I think than any I can remember. But 4 years is, 4 is half of 8, and I'm good at math.
That was
And
really
what happens in 4 is a lot, but what's happened in these 8 years is, and will happen in the next year and a half. We don't even know what all will happen. One of the most moving experiences of all of the galas was having the Orlando Gay Chorus sing shortly after Pulse. It was, one of those moments when we all felt the grief and the sorrow, and we shared that through their music. And there have been those kinds of things. In 1992 in Denver, we had several big commissions, including the Turtle Creek Chorales, When We No Longer Touch, which was the first AIDS Requiem. And in 1992, it was really something special and something to remember, and that many, many of us have sung and used as our own grieving process. So, it mirrors what's happening in our lives, and that's part of the excitement. You and I have been to enough ACDA and MENC conferences, and it is nothing like that. Those are boring. Those are just so colorless. And this one is colorful at every turn. It's just full of life and full, as you said, of queer joy, which is not exactly the way ACDA conferences are. So what in the world do you think it's going to be like? What do you think?
Oh gosh, it's hard to even imagine. Coming from rural communities in Wisconsin and Indiana, to envision a Midwestern city as a cultural and queer mecca of the United States is a really beautiful image that I have dreamt about for 34 years. And so to become a small part of that, and to start to become a part of a family and find my people, and to attend every concert I can and scream as loud as I can in support of all of our fellow choruses that are going up there. I just look forward to lending my voice to the decades of energy that have been spent supporting, advocating for, and creating music in the gala sphere. I just can't wait to become a part of that legacy, and hopefully a part of its progressive future as well.
I think it's precious the way you managed to drop your age in there so subtly. And I can't imagine a little boy in Wisconsin at the age of 6 dreaming about a Midwest town that became a gay mecca. But whatever, if that's what your experience was, we're going to go with that. I mean, moving from Indiana to San Francisco Mecca was a big enough challenge. I'm glad you have another year and a half to move into when Minneapolis turns pink. It's going to be just, incredible. And, we've all experienced this here at the holidays. I've been fortunate enough now that I'm out of day-to-day conducting to get to go to a lot of our choruses, of our gala chorus holiday concerts, and they've all been a smashing sensation with packed audiences. every gay chorus that I know of has been experiencing sold out halls and people just clamoring. And that's like with 2 or 2.5 years absence. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like after an 8-year absence when we hit Minneapolis for a festival. It hits in the plane or the bus or the train on your way. And then when you get to the train station or the airport, it just bursts open. People are singing everywhere. They're singing on the street corners, in the bathrooms, everywhere there is music. And you will look forward to, when it's over, having a little bit of silence.
I can't wait. Now, Tim, I'm banking on someone else taking care of the planes, trains, and automobiles portion of the festival. But for my cohort of new artistic directors, including myself, in the last 8 years that have come into gala choruses, when we're thinking about what music we want to put on the stage for all of our siblings to coalesce around and experience with us, what tips do you have in terms of creating that 30-minute program?
After only having been to 8 festivals and programmed multiple choirs, because there were times when I had several choirs at once. Here is my advice: be true to yourself. Don't be someone else. Don't try to be anything other than what you are in your own community. Bring the chorus that you love and that you nurture, and bring that and show that to us. And don't feel like you have to all of a sudden do something out of your ordinary. Meaning, if you all of a sudden, I want to have a dance troupe or do choreography or I want set changes and costume changes. We've never done that, but I want to try it out at gala. This is a terrible idea. Don't try out anything new at gala. There's no reason. People really want to see you, who you are, and what you've done at home. Don't try out any new commissions that you haven't worked through at home. Don't commission some brand new piece and have the world premiere be on the stage at gala without, like you say, without some run out. Like, go out to the Burbs and sing it and make sure that you've tried it. The scary thing is, it just cannot be reiterated enough, is you have a 30-minute set. They ask for 25 minutes of music, but that includes all your setup. So every piece of instrumentation that you want to use has to be set up within that 25 minutes. So if you want a 18-piece orchestra, then you're going to have to time in the chairs, the stands, all that, getting it out of your 25 minutes. Don't do it. Use as little instrumentation as you can and still, present what you want to present that's colorful. But just remember that applause and movement, all that comes out of your time. I think for me, I live and die by the TLC, the tender loving care, but it's not the tender loving care. It's a tear, a laugh, and a chill bump. And do something fun, do something outrageous, do something meaningful and poignant, and do something beautiful where everybody can breathe and take a moment and enjoy your artistry and the musicianship that you have at home. Other than that, in the instructions that gala sends out, it says it doesn't all have to be brand new. Bring a new arrangement. Just highlight all the beautiful things that you do at home, but be yourself is the most important.
I love that. And Tim, what about anything for the singers, the volunteers, other people other than staff members and artistic directors? What do you want to say? If you could talk to the members of the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus who have never been to gala, what would you say to those new members in the last 8 years that have never been to a festival? What do they need to do? What should they do? What should they look for?
When they were doing it every 4 years, normal turnover in a gala chorus might be 10% a year, maybe 15% a year. It's pretty average. So in 4 years, it's a lot. In 8 years, it's easily half or more of our choruses who've never been. For those of you who are artistic directors of choruses who have a long history of gala festival attendance, your work is done for you. You just plug into all the people who've been before, because they're rabid supporters if they've been before. For those of you who have less than a half or a third, many of them don't understand why they should take a week of their lives, use their vacation, pay money to go sing. And it's a hard sell for some of those people. And so what I would say is try to plug into the people who've been before, have testimonials at rehearsals, do some little videos, have people give whatever kind of rah-rah you can pull together. And the other thing is immediately, and artistic directors, I know that it's not your job, but sometimes it's your job to make sure that you have somebody, as you said, to do the logistics now. It's never too soon. And all that's laid out really beautifully by Gala, but it'll be a surprise because everybody's in the middle of their season and doing all the things that we do at home. And all of a sudden Gala's up here and we're thinking about it. But as soon as you can get a little Gala committee to both get the details, all of the travel and the housing and all that done, but also can do the rah-rah, the more people you bring, the more exciting and life-changing it will be for your chorus. And we have found this in San Francisco, and I found it as well in Dallas. I was very lucky that it's just what we did. You just go to festival. The chorus goes to festival. Of course, the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus was one of the founding organizations of Gala, period. But it just became like, that's not a question whether or not we would go to Gala. And I would hope that all of you could manage to pull that off with your chorus, that it's not a question of if we're going. The only question is how many of us are going, and set a goal. 90% of the active singing membership are going to go to Gala. I know there are people that try to raise money for their entire chorus to go, to pay for their chorus to go. I've never been a part of an organization that has done that, but we have raised a lot of money, and I know you're still doing it, to provide scholarships so that all the singers who couldn't afford to go. My issue with raising money for the whole chorus to go is that some of those people can afford to go, and there's no reason to raise money for them. And I will give you a little tip for those of you who are artistic directors who are like trying to gather this. We ask early on for people to fill out a little form, and it says, we want you to go to Gala. How much of this total cost can you pay? 25%, 50%, or 100%. And then you get all of that data and you realize, oh, we can raise that much money. Actually, in my choruses over 35 years, we've never paid 100% of anybody's way to go, because we feel like it's important for people to pay something. 25% was the lowest, but you'll be surprised. You think it's a huge number, and when people have to sit down and say, okay, I can actually pay 50%, then great, then you're not responsible for the other 50%. So there's just a little tip about early on getting people's buy-in. And it's always good also to overestimate what the cost is going to be rather than underestimate. Just add a couple $100, because they're going to buy that many t-shirts and necklaces and bracelets at the festival store. So I know. And you'll trade buttons and you'll trade shirts. Oh yeah, you come home with a whole new wardrobe. It's fabulous.
Can't wait. Tim, your mentorship and friendship means the world to me, and I'm so glad we got to talk today about festival. And I will ask you 1,000 more questions between now and July of 2024 when we get there.
I will make up an answer.